Hello, my name is Chris Hammond. I'm the Director of Training here at .NET Nuke Corporation. In this brief video, I'm going to show you how .NET Nuke handles user accounts within the system. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is how .NET Nuke handles registrations. Out of the box, what it provides to the user to be able to go in and create an account. Next, we'll log in, see what the user sees after they've created their first account. And then we'll take a look at the site from an administrator's perspective. We'll see what the registration options are that an administrator can configure. We'll also take a brief look at how we can manage user accounts within .NET Nuke. We'll be doing all of this in a fresh install of .NET Nuke Professional version 5.6.0. We have our fresh install right here. And out of the box, within the default skin for .NET Nuke, you can see we have a register link and a login link built into the skin. Well, if we click on the register link, that's going to take us to the registration page, at which point we'll be able to go through and create an account. So we can define our username, give it a first name and a last name. You can also define a display name and then an email address. Now, when you're creating an account within .NET Nuke, you can go ahead and create a password. Now, accounts within .NET Nuke, you can change your first name, last name, display name, email address, or password at any time, but you can't change a username once it's been created. So we'll go ahead and click on register. That's going to go ahead and create our account. And it actually logs us into the website with this newly created account. So you can see up where it once said register, it now has our display name, first name and last name showing up, and then a logout link. So now that we're logged in, we can see that we're logged in. We don't have any permissions on the site at this point, but we are logged in with the website. If we go ahead and click on our username or our display name up there, it will take us to the profile page in .NET Nuke for our account, which at this point doesn't have any information populated, but as a user we can go in and now edit our profile, which we can go in and change some of those fields we just saw, but at the same time we can also provide other information about our account. From a security perspective, we can control who can view which information on our account. You can see there's an option here for visibility. It says public, members only, and admin only. So you can control who has access to which of these various profile attributes. If we wanted to make any changes here, scroll down to the bottom, we can click on update to save our profile. Now we can also come in here and manage user credentials, which will allow us to change our basic information about our account along with our email address. We can manage our password. Come in and change our password here. We have to type in the old one and then type in the new one. And there's an additional option here called Managed Services, which we'll look at in another video. Now we're going to go ahead and log out of the website. And we'll log back in as an administrator and look at what .NET Nuke provides for an admin to manage users and manage various registration settings. So we're going to go ahead and log in with the default admin account with a username of admin. And I've already reset the password here. Now if I log in with this account, you can see our display name shows up over on the right. We have the logout link. We have our control panel access. Now from within the control panel, if we go to the admin tab, we can go to the users page, or we can just go directly into the create user form by clicking on add user. Now before we look at the user management, we're going to take a look at the registration settings. Well, the registration settings are a portal setting or a site setting. Each website in .NET Nuke, if you have multiple websites or multiple portals, can have their own registration settings. And we access that by going to the admin site settings page, which is what I clicked on within the control panel. Now if we go ahead and scroll down to the advanced settings section, we get an option here for security settings. And then the single setting in there is for user registration. This allows us to control how the registration works within our .NET Nuke website. There are 4 options. None means we're turning registration off. It means users cannot create accounts on our portal. Private means people can create accounts on our portal, but they're not going to be able to get logged into the website until an administrator approves their account within the website. Public means anyone can create an account and they can automatically log in with that account. Verified means that anyone can create an account but they can't log into the website until they receive an email from the .NET Nuke system that provides them with an authentication code or a verification code. They have to type this verification code before they'll be able to successfully log in for the first time. Now, once they've logged in with the verification code, .NET Nuke will not prompt them for that again. Now, at any point in time, an administrator can mark someone as verified or authorized and allow them to log in without having to type in the verification code. In that respect, it works just like it does with a private Notion. You can change your registration settings at any point in time. If you set it to none, when you're not logged in, the register link that will show up in the top right section of the page doesn't show up. So if you make a change to your registration settings, you do have to scroll down to the bottom of the page, click on Update to update the site settings. Now, in addition to controlling the basic registration settings, as an administrator, we can also manage user information. I'm going to do that again through the Control Panel's Admin tab, and we click on the Users link. This will take us to the page that lists off all user accounts on this particular website. Now, these are user accounts that are attached to this particular portal. They don't include any host or super user accounts. They do not include any users attached to other portals. As in previous videos we've discussed, even though .NET Nuke allows you to have multiple websites, each website has its own unique collection of users. And what we have listed here are the 2 user accounts currently assigned to this portal. Admin, the username that we're currently logged in with, and then test user, the user that we created just a few moments ago. Well, from here we can go in and we can edit a user. As an administrator, we can edit the test user account. And by editing that account, we see a very similar page to what we saw when we were logged in with that account, but we get a little bit more information here. We can see when the account was created, when they last logged in, when they last performed an activity on the site, and when they last changed their password. We can also see if the user is locked out. If they're authorized, we can force them to change their password. We can unauthorize them here as well. We can go in to manage roles for security for this particular user. We'll see that in a future video. We can change the user's password. We can also manage their profile. Now, if we go back to the user accounts page, from here we can edit any of those users. We can delete any of the users, except right now we cannot delete the administrator account because that is the only admin account for this particular website. We can click on the red X though if we wanted to delete the test user. Now we can also click on the lock icon in order to manage the roles that a user belongs to. From this page we can add a new user. If we click on Add New User, it'll take us to an interface to go through and type in some of that basic registration information that we saw. Now there's a couple of additional fields here that you didn't see when we registered a user account manually. We have the ability to authorize the user. That means that they're immediately approved and they can immediately log in. We can notify the user that their account gets created. It will send them an email with their user account information. Now, notify will only work if you had the SMTP settings configured for your .NET Nuke website. Now, SMTP settings are a host setting that we'll talk about in a future video. From here, we can define a password for the user, or we can choose to allow .NET Nuke to randomly generate a password. Now, you would likely not randomly generate a password and turn the notify option off. If you did that, you'd create an account with a username that you know, a password that you don't know, and the user would not get the information mailed to them as well. But from here, we could click on Add New User or Cancel if we want to just cancel out of the user creation process. Now, in a future video, we'll go into more details about the profile properties that .NET Nuke provides and some of the advanced user settings that .NET Nuke provides for user management as well. If you're interested in learning more about .NET Nuke, I'd encourage you to check out our .NET Nuke training page available on .NETnuke.com or by going to the shortcut URL listed here on the screen. That URL is case sensitive. We offer a variety of free videos as well as paid instructor-led training and even custom on-site and online training. Again, this is Chris Hammond with .NET Nuke Corporation. Thank you for watching the video.